107.7 FM. Iduikiti, the voice of the light.
From the studio of Damimongo 107.7 FM, it's 6 o'clock.
Top stories, real voices
have arrived in Lagos according to authorities in Nigeria.
Tune in to Adamimogo 107.7 FM for a fresh perspective on news. Adamimogo 107.7 FM, the voice of the light.
A suspected bank robber leading officers.
News is always on the go, and we get the stories firsthand as they happen, where they happen. We bring the information to you undiluted, verified, accurate, balanced, and without bias. Told from a human angle perspective. We interview the actors and the experts. All facts laid bare. From Nigeria to the rest of the globe, we deliver the news on time and in time. This is News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM in Iduekiti.
Thanks for joining us on News Express. My name is Kingsley Inyovusa. Now the news. President Bola Tinubu has insisted on bold reforms in the UN Security Council to give Nigeria and other African countries permanent seats at the council, stressing that it has since become imperative for the UN to strengthen its relevance and credibility in a rapidly changing world. He also called on world leaders to recommit themselves to multilateralism by deepening relations among member states of the United Nations in line with the principles of inclusivity, equality, and cooperation, saying it is the surest guarantee of global action against existential challenges faced by the international community. President Tinubu is also chairman of the Authority of the Heads of States and Governments of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, stated this while addressing world leaders during the general debate of the ongoing 79th section of the United Nations General Assembly at the United States headquarters in New York, United States. The Nigerian president, who was represented by his deputy vice president, Kashim Shettima, at a high-level annual global event, decried the steep descent to singularity and nationalism, which, according to him, are undermining the quest for peaceful and collective resolution of global challenges such as terrorism, climate change, poverty, food crisis, hyperinflation, nuclear proliferation, and grinding debt burden, among others. The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has today appeared before lawmakers at the Senate for screening and confirmation as the substantive CJN. The screening comes after the Senate President Godswill Akpabio received a letter from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which was presented during the plenary section. Kekereekun declared that all pre-election matters must be concluded at the Court of Appeal, as she frowns against corruption in the judiciary, stating that she would not tolerate any form of it. Justice Kekereekun, who was sworn in as the acting Chief Justice by President Bola Tinubu, made a section during her Senate screening for confirmation as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. If confirmed, Justice Kekereekun will become Nigeria's 23rd substantive Chief Justice and the second female to hold the position in the history of Nigeria. Alright, the Federal High Court in Abuja today adjourned the alleged money laundering case filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) against the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Owuye Pelu, until October 30, 2024. The adjournment by Justice Emeka Nwete came as ex-governor Pelu moved to the Supreme Court to file an appeal seeking to set aside the arrest warrant issued by the trial court on April 17. The defense counsel, A.M. Adoyi, drew the court's attention to the fact that the issue of the arraignment of the defendant was the subject matter of an appeal already entered by him at the Supreme Court. Counsel for the FCC, Kemi Behiro SN, however, thought the court that the defendant's counsel was turning the court into a place for entertainment. Justice Winter therefore adjourned the matter to the 30th of October for ruling and arraignment. The All Progressives Congress in Adamawa State says that the victory of the party's governorship candidates in Edo State is a confirmation that President Bola Tinubu's 2027 re-election is a sealed political deal. Adamawa APC chairman Idris Shaibu says the Edo election was a confirmation that the president is on the right track, saying the president's programs are the selling points that made Nigerians come out and vote for the party in Edo State. Shaibu described the Edo governorship poll held on September 21 as the most free and fair election conducted in recent times by the Independent National Electoral Commission, noted that Nigeria's democracy would thrive under Tinubu's policies. Meanwhile, the British High Commission has described Saturday's Edo State governorship election as largely peaceful, while urging calm following the announcement of the results. In a statement released today, the Commission commended the people of Edo State for their participation in the electoral process and emphasized the importance of maintaining peace. The All Progressives candidate, Monde Okpebolo, was declared the winner of the poll after securing 291,667 votes, defeating the People's Democratic Party's Asue Igodalo, who garnered 247,274 votes. Olumide Akpata of the Labour Party finished a distant third with 22,763 votes. The UK Commission encouraged parties with grievances over the election outcome to utilize the established legal channels to address their concerns, stressing that the Independent National Electoral Commission and other relevant authorities should handle all complaints with transparency and fairness. You're listening to News Express on Adami Mogu 107.7 FM Ido Ekiti. After the break, Ekiti State Governor reiterates commitments to combat gender-based violence at the grassroots, plus business, foreign entertainment and sport news.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adami Mogo Event Hall. Yes, right at Olojudo's Palace, Adami Mogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your event on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talk, simply visit us at Olojudo's Palace, Ido Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803-526-5812 or 0916-340-0878 or 0806-511-4430. You can also call 0806-380-8891. Adami Mogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
Alright, glad to know you're still there and you're welcome back. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adami Mogo 107.7 FM. For happenings around your news inquiries, please contact our newsroom on this number 0811-801-8242. Now the rest of the bulletin. On our special reports today, since Nigeria's returns to democracy in 1999, the country has faced quite a number of challenges in the electoral sector, but top among them are the electoral irregularities that characterizes our elections. As a matter of fact, nearly all of Nigeria's general elections since independence have been tainted with the broad strokes of irregularity, with the recent election in Edo State raising further concerns. Our reporter, Dayo Olujobi, interacts with a number of Nigerians on their observations and the way forward. The reports.
After a keenly contested affair in Edo State on September 21st, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) announced the candidate of the All Progressives Congress (APC) Monday Owuye Pelu as the winner. The PDP arrived at second place and the third heavyweight, Labour, completely out of the calculations. However, many questions have been raised on the process that produced the governor-elect, with some Nigerians, including civil society organizations and election monitoring groups, faulting the entire process. After perception of stakeholders on the election begs the question, what does it take to hold a free and fair election in Nigeria? Recall that since the advent of Nigeria's 25-year democracy, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and the National Assembly have reformed election laws to address the flaws experienced in previous elections, the latest being the 2022 Electoral Act. However, as many reforms are introduced in the electoral process, efforts by political actors to circumvent the expected gains also intensify. For example, the governorship election that produced the candidate of the All Progressives of Congress (APC) Monday Owuye Pelu as the winner of Edo Post has been faulted on the grounds of vote buying, intimidation, voter suppression, late arrival of materials, to mention a few. Some Nigerians who spoke with Adamimogo 105.1 FM Ibadan, including one Mrs. Abe, who has voted in 5 elections, said it will be difficult to achieve election credibility because of the credibility question hanging on the electoral umpire, INEC.
INEC knew what they're supposed to do during the last election. The problem that they will put it inside this server that will be shown that immediately the vote is going in, everything will be shown. But it was a disappointment that they couldn't meet up to their promise.
They're supposed not to allow anybody to propose to their work. They are an independent, and they can call somebody independent. They can do everything on its own without including any government or anybody.
While some say they have given up on the electoral process in the country Nigeria, others point at poverty as the major contributor.
For me, I've decided I will not even vote again because it's like the vote is not counted. Because it's like they are sharing this thing. Not we must serve for 8 years. The South must come for 8 years.
Last election in Edo, all we got to know was that everybody spent money. The highest bidder on the winning election. Because of the economy in Nigeria today, most people, they are voting for party because of money.
Meanwhile, while others are giving up, some Nigerians who believe that the good old days will return to the country advocate more reforms.
I think that to make the election credible and transparent, that thing they promised us during the last election, they should bring it out while people are voting, and they should put it inside our election server for people to see. So there will not be any vote buying or any carriage of votes.
Although INEC has over time reaffirmed its commitment to free, fair, transparent and credible elections in Nigeria, there is an urgent need for both electorate, politicians and INEC to uphold electoral integrity by doing the right thing. From Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, Dayo Olujobi reporting for Adamimogo FM Nigeria.
Alright, barely a week after Lasepa sued donors, restaurants in the Lekki area owned by popular socialist Cubana chief priest, the Lagos state government has sued the Celestial Church of God, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and 7 companies and hotels in Ikeja, Mushin, Bagada, and Maryland areas of the state. According to Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA, the crackdown is aimed at tackling noise and other environmental violations in the state. The Commissioner of Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, disclosed this in a statement through his account today. He stated that the affected establishments were found guilty of violating environmental regulations despite several warnings from LASEPA. In his comments to the developments, the General Manager of LASEPA, Babatunde Ajayi, emphasized the agency's zero-tolerance stance on non-compliance with environmental laws. As Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja clocked 80 years today, the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has said that his political path cannot be completed without the former governor of the state, Oba Rashidi Adeolu-Ladoja. Makinde made his declaration today when he paid a congratulatory visit to the Otun Olubada of Ibadan. Makinde, while speaking at Ladoja's residence, recalled that it was Ladoja who midwifed the process that led to his emergence as governor in 2019. The governor, who said he and the former governor may have some political differences, insisted that the former governor still has many things to offer the state. Now in Ekiti State government has reiterated its commitments to wage war against gender-based violence in the grassroots. Ekiti State Deputy Governor Chief Mrs. Munisa Diafuye said this while declaring open a 2-day training workshop organized by the Office of the Wife of the Governor in collaboration with Ministry of Local Government Affairs. For female local government chairman, vice chairman, wives of council chairmen, and other local government stakeholders on gender-based violence in Ado-Ekiti, Munisa Diafuye stated that the workshop would encourage local communities to take action against violence and discrimination against women and vulnerable girl child, noting that this administration has given adequate attention to women and all issues affecting them, as many key elective and appointive positions were given to women in the executive, legislative and judicial aims. The wife of the governor, Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji, who was represented by the head of service, Dr. Folakemi Olomojobi, says gender-based violence was a task that calls for a united approach, policies and actions that bring about meaningful change and reshape public attitudes. I stated that the platform should be used to develop effective strategies, increase public awareness, and enhance the enforcement of laws aimed at protecting the vulnerables. The First Lady called on all stakeholders to join the fight against gender-based violence as champions of justice and peace to ensure brighter, safer, and violence-free future for all. Meanwhile, during the awareness and education workshop, the State Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Honorable Folorunsho Olabode, has called on all stakeholders in the local councils to develop and implement strategies that would prevent and respond to gender-based violence effectively in the Ekiti State. Honorable Deji Ogumbusuyi, CEO of DOF, has expressed the delight and appreciation at the recently concluded free summer coaching for JSS 1 to SS3 students in Ado-Ekiti and its environs. The convener of the coaching program said the aim of the gesture is to engage the students in learning and to keep them in shape for resumption into the new academic section, stating that the foundation used the coaching as part of its intervention in education, community development, and contribution to educational advancement. The maiden coaching program held at St. Benedict Catholic Primary School, Ado-Ekiti, had students from the town and its environment from August to September 2024. While addressing the students on the first day of the program, Honorable Ogumbusuyi, who is also the personal assistant to Prophet Samuel Olualo, thanked God for the opportunity to be useful to his people and the community, noting that it will be a yearly event. Also, Eda Ayo Lomofe, a member of the Board of Trustees of the Foundation, while speaking, called on the students to be diligent and tap into the opportunity of the free summer coaching to enhance their academic future. However, Ogumbusuyi equally appreciated his spiritual father, Prophet Samuel Olualo, for encouraging him to be useful to his people, as he also commended worthy community leaders of Ado-Ekiti for the success of the program. Ido-Esi Local Government Education Secretary, Headmistress, and staff of St. Benedict Catholic Primary School, Ado-Ekiti. Honorable Shola Ogushida, Chairman, Edo Progressives Association. Honorable Lurutimi Afolabi, Chairman, Edo Development Town Council, the GM and staff of Adami Mogo 107.7 FM, Ado-Ekiti. While responded, the coordinator of the summer coaching, Comrade Abiodun Ajayi, expressed delight at the massive turnout of students at the maiden edition from Ado-Ekiti and its environs, and also thanked the foundation for the free coaching program. On business news, Pengasan tells federal government to increase stake in Dangote's refinery. Let's join Kehinde Ayola for more.
Good evening and welcome to Business Update. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PEGASAN, has urged the federal government to ensure that the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, increases its stake in Dangote Refinery and Petrochemical from the current 7% to at least 45%. It stated that this will ensure further energy assurance and security for the citizens. PEGASAN President Festus Osifo made the call in Lagos yesterday during the presentation of its communique and recommendation from the recent edition of the association's Energy and Labour Summit. He explained that the high stake in the refinery would enhance energy security, that energy security is cardinal for the survival of any nation and Nigeria is not an exception. Hence, the citizens demand energy affordability, accessibility and availability. Osifo called for the intensification of local production of petroleum products. He also urged that the floating of the naira would lead to the devaluation of the naira contributed substantially to the high cost of fuel pump price because of the dollar to the naira conversion and not necessarily the removal of the fuel subsidy by President Bola Tinubu on May 29, 2023. Still on business updates, key players in the Nigerian business and economic section has kicked against the recent interest rate hike by the Central Bank of Nigeria Monetary Policy Committee. President of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, Owuye, and the President of the Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, Femi Ebeshola, in separate statement yesterday, said the CBN interest rate to 27.25% would impact heavily on the growth of businesses and investments in Nigeria. Their concerns come as the CBN MPC, in a unanimous decision by members, announced a 50 basis point interest rate increase for the fifth time since February 2024. The CBN Governor, Olayemi Kadoso, said further monetary policy tightening would help moderate inflation, which stood at 32.15% in August, and stabilize the country's foreign exchange. However, Owuye faulted the decision to hike the monetary policy rate, MPR. According to him, the rate hike would worsen the burden on businesses already grappling with the negative impact of foreign fluctuations and inflation. And that's all on business this evening. My name is Kendi Ayola.
Alright, on foreign, Harris to give first national solo interview as candidates. Let's join Tomilola Igbansami for this and more.
Good evening, this is Foreign News. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris will sit today for her first major loan interview since becoming the Democratic presidential nominee. According to a TV network, the interview is set to be aired at 7 p.m. East Coast time will be filmed in Pittsburgh, an industrial city in Key Swing State, Pennsylvania, where Harris is also giving a speech on her economic proposals. Harris has faced major criticism from some political pundits for largely avoiding major interviews since she became the Democratic standard bearer following President Joe Biden's exit from the race. Recall that she has only given one interview with a national TV network in August when she and her running mate Tim Walz sat for a joint interview. So the foreign news, France's Interior Minister Bruno Rataili has signaled he will push for tighter immigration policies as the far right seeks to use a gruesome murder to put pressure on the government. The minister said today while addressing the arrest of a Moroccan man for the murder of a 19-year-old female student that the abominable crime required not just rhetoric but action, as far-right parties demanded when commenting on the case. According to the minister, it is up to them as public leaders to refuse to accept the inevitable and to develop their legal arsenal to protect the French, adding that if need be, they will change the rules. The headline rhetoric on migration is not new from Rataili, a member of the Conservative Republicans Party who was previously advocated for stricter immigration rules and quicker deportations. The suggestion is in line with the demands of the far-right National Rally RN party, which has threatened it could topple France's fragile governing coalition if its immigration concerns are not addressed. And that's all on the foreign news. Thanks for joining us. My name is Tomilola Igbasomi.
Alright, on showbiz, Seun Kuti encourages very dark man in Bobrisky's EFCC 50 million naira saga. Success Areola has this and more.
Good evening and welcome to Entertainment News. Singer Seun Kuti has explained his involvement in the controversy surrounding Bobrisky and Very Dark Man. Recall that the EFCC launched an investigation into allegations that some of its officers received 15 million naira from Idris Okunleye, popularly known as Bobrisky, to dismiss money laundering charges against him. Kuti revealed that he encouraged Very Dark Man to release the audio recording allegedly featuring Bobrisky claiming to have bribed EFCC officials with 15 million naira. During an Instagram live session, he stated that he is the first person Very Dark Man informed about the recording, and it sparked heated debate, with Bobrisky denying the claims and labeling the recording as fake. The EFCC has since summoned Bobrisky and Very Dark Man to its Lagos office to provide information and assist with the ongoing investigation into the bribery allegations. Still in the showbiz world, Nigerian star Bankole Wellington, widely known as Banky W, has relocated to the United States with his family. The Empire Mate Entertainment boss revealed the move on Instagram, sharing that he will be pursuing a master's degree, alongside a photo of himself, his wife, actress Adesua Wellington, and their child at the airport. Banky W asked his followers to send their best wishes as they embark on this new chapter. According to him, he stated in his Instagram caption on Monday that it is for the family and for finding purpose. His wife, who is known to be a renowned actress, reacted and commented on the post. Popular celebrities and fans also wished the family best of luck. And that's all on the entertainment news. My name is Success Areola.
Alright, on sports news, Naomi Osaka wants no regrets after hiring Serena's former coach. Babatunde Falodun is standing by.
On sports today, the Confederation of African Football CAF has awarded the hosting right of 2025 Under-20 Cup of Nations tournament to South Africa. Recall that South Africa hosted the competition 13 years ago when Nigeria won the competition, edging past Senegal in the final. Reports, however, said to qualify for the match in South Africa, the Fly Eagles will have to scale through the West Africa Football Union qualifying tournament in Togo next month. Still on sport updates. Four-time major champion Naomi Osaka has today said she does not want to have regrets after confirming she has teamed up with Serena Williams' renowned former coach Patrick Motragolio. Former world number one Osaka now ranks 73, split from Belgian coach Wim Fissette this month as she attempts to return to the form that propelled her to the top of the women's game. The 26-year-old Osaka said she felt a need for a change and described Moratoglu as a big person. However, she said that although she's still nervous around him, she hopes to be back on top with the new coach. And that's all on sports. My name is Babatunde Falodun. Good evening.
Alright, so end News Express says a recap of our top stories. Remember, we told you that President Bola Tinubu has insisted on bold reforms in the UN Security Council to give Nigeria and other African countries permanent seats at the Council, stressing that it has since become imperative for the UN to strengthen its relevance and credibility in a rapidly changing world. The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudrat Kekereako, today appeared before lawmakers at the Senate for screening and confirmation as the substantive CJN. Ekiti state government has reiterated its commitments to wage war against gender-based violence in the grassroots. That's News Express on Adami Mogo 107.7 Olojudo's Palace, Ido Ekiti, on behalf of the production crew. My name is Kingsley Inyovusa. Good evening, thanks for listening.
Top stories, real voices.
Have arrived in Lagos, according to authorities in Nigeria.